A man was in prison, but he could kill people remotely. As long as he drew a picture of the person on the wall, the person would die strangely the next day. Laxi made a cruel statement, and the next person to be sent away was a surgeon in a hospital. The police quickly locked the prison door and assigned 2 guards. The next day, something strange occurred. A charred corpse was found in the suburbs, unrecognizable and with carbonized bones, causing panic among the police. Does Laxi really have the ability to kill people from a distance? Daymay, the chief medical examiner, didn't believe it. She used technology to compare the charred head with the doctor's head and discovered a perfect match. Daymay was incredulous. How could someone commit remote killings? Laxi likely had an outside accomplice. The police were interrogating Laxi that day. Daymay was watching the whole process outside the interrogation room. Laxi burst into laughter, which made Daymay suddenly realize that she could be with the police. The person who planned the murder must be someone who can go in and out of the prison frequently. The prison priest, who specializes in hearing prisoners' confessions, visits once a week without arousing suspicion. Daymay immediately launched an investigation and found that the priest went to the prison the day before the doctor died. He had been to jail, but there was no prayer mission that day. He had talked to Laxi for an entire hour. When they thought of this, the police immediately sent people to arrest the priest. When they returned to the police station, a group of dancing icons blocked their way. The police left the car to clear the road, but soon after, the priest was killed. The priest died in the northwest, but Laxi's arrogance did not diminish. He once again made a harsh statement, indicating that the hospital's dean would be the next to die. Daymay was confused about why all the victims came from the same hospital, but he didn't have time to consider it. Protecting the dean was the top priority. Daymay went with the police to the dean's house and inquired if he was acquainted with someone named Laxi. The dean's face changed drastically after hearing this, and he immediately drove Daymay and the police away. But soon Daymay turned back because her mobile phone was left at the dean's house. When she was leaving, she smelled a pungent smell. A loud noise broke the current. Everyone rushed back immediately, but it was too late. The dean's head was already blooming. Suddenly a figure flashed outside the window. The police hurriedly chased after him, but ended up getting a stomach full of exhaust gas. After this incident, Daymay realized that Laxi had more than one accomplice. Despite the lack of evidence at the scene, Daymay had already found a crucial clue. Laxi harmed people in this hospital. Is there something hidden in the hospital that cannot be told? Have you seen the Indian speed gang? The husband was driving his pregnant wife and suddenly reached out a hand to the other side. The speed was so fast that the big Dow instantly strangled a red mark. The wife lost her balance and fell to the ground. The unborn baby died instantly. This led Laxi to commit multiple murders and she was eventually jailed for manslaughter. The wife was sent to the hospital. The doctor began to prepare for rescue, but the greedy wife decided to kill the woman and remove her heart. This also led to 1 death and 2 lives. The good times did not last long. The hospital was soon reported. The mayor ordered a thorough hospital investigation. They then discovered a group of people reselling organs. The entire country was abuzz with the news. Laxi discovered that his wife's death was a plot. He sought assistance from his wife's adoptive father, the priest. The pair planned to create a ploy to eliminate people from afar, diverting police attention to themselves, while the shadowy priest would take on the role of seeking revenge. But they didn't expect the boss of the organ dealer spent a lot of money to buy the news from the police station. He first went down the wall to kill the priest. Daymay finally figured out Laxi's motive for killing people, but he still couldn't figure out who helped Laxi kill the dean after the priest's death. A nurse with a quarrelsome face in the ward caught Daymay's attention. She had been accidentally burned by strong sulfuric acid a week ago. He witnessed the surgeon stealing the heart during an operation. His father was none other than Daymay's trusted ally, Whitebeard. Whitebeard had helped Daymay for years and gained her trust. Now, Daymay recalled the scent she had noticed at the dean's house that day. The morgue smelled of disinfectant, and the real murderer was lurking beside her. Smart Daymay did not alarm the snake. She first found the nurse to ask why her father helped Laxi commit a crime, but the nurse could not speak. Only her eyes could move. Daymay asked her to looking at the letters. I blinked and was stunned. I picked out 3 names one by one in this way. 2 of them were the dead doctor and the dean, and the other was the hospital's major shareholder, Duan Kun. Duan Kun was the real financial supporter behind the entire black transaction. Daymay also learned from the nurse that the pregnant woman had an accident that day, which was not fatal. If she had been rescued in time, the mother and daughter could have been saved, but the doctor ignored his professional ethics and decisively carried out a murderous plan. The nurse was supposed to put the child in the morgue, but when she saw the poor child, her conscience was troubled. She realized she had to sneak into the doctor's office to steal the evidence of her organ reselling. But at this time, the doctor came back. She quickly hid behind the curtain, but the doctor found her feet, so she, the dean and Duan Kun tied the nurse to a laboratory. The 3 burned the nurse with acid. Whitebeard teamed up with Laxi to avenge his daughter. The truth is out. 2 of the 3 criminals are dead. Was Naraxi's final target Duan Kun, the wealthy? The wealthy man drove home alone. Suddenly, a strange call came from behind him. When Duan Kun opened his eyes again, she saw Bai Huzi sharpening a scalpel in front of her. She said that as long as Bai Huzzy gave her a fake, she would be willing to spend money to buy her life. After speaking, she was kicked from behind. In a trance, she seemed to see a familiar face. It was Da Mei, the forensic doctor. Duan Kun observed her sharp eyes. She resembled a forensic doctor, but more like a god of death. Da Mei agency orchestrated the remote murder case. Da Mei and Laxi's wife were childhood friends. However, her best friend disappeared just 2 months ago. She tried hard to find her, but it was pointless. What she didn't anticipate was seeing her best friend again in the autopsy report. As a forensic doctor, she quickly noticed the autopsy report was full of loopholes. She suspected foul play and spent a month uncovering the truth about her best friend's death. She intended to collaborate with the nurse to move the organ trafficking and escape the fire, but the nurse was killed. Good people had nowhere to go and bad people were free. Since God was blind, she would take action on God's behalf. Her plan was very simple. First, let Lacey draw a picture in prison to create a bloodhead that could kill people from a distance. The priest would regularly enter and exit the prison. After successfully making the bloodhead, he would throw a smoke bomb and then Whitebeard would carry out the assassination plan. She kidnapped the doctor and tortured him brutally. Then she used sulfuric acid to corrode him completely, making him taste the pain his daughter suffered. She left the body outside to make the police believe she was killing people from a distance. The next person she killed was the dean. The priest was killed by a mysterious person, so she had to kill herself. She deliberately angered the dean and asked him to drive her and the police away. Then she went back to the dean's house to get his cell phone and shot him with a silenced pistol. She set a timer recorder and played the gunshot to the police after leaving the dean's house. The police would surely come. After her and the police came, she let Whitebeard pretend to escape to remove her suspicion. She finally exposed the medical crime through the nurse. The truth is that Duan Kun, the main financier, has no escape. Da Mei slowly approaches Duan Kun with a scalpel to see what the Black Heart looks like and root out the criminal gang. She doesn't want to see anyone like her best friend. Justice may be late, but it will never be absent.